What's going on, everybody? We have got with us a very, very special guest with us joining us tonight. This is not a recruit interview. This is a transfer portal interview. And this is with a player I'm extremely excited about. I've been excited about him during his whole recruitment, basically. Now that he's gotten into college and had some experience, now getting into the portal, definitely interested in tapping back in with him to see where his mind's at and kind of see what schools have been showing him love and kind of see what direction he wants to go in. I'm anxious to bring him on here, man, because I'm telling you guys right now, this is a guy who can help any team in the secondary in the nation as far as I'm concerned.
What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Antoine, let the folks know all about you, man. What you doing, where you from, and what you got going on.
Man, my name is Antione Jackson. I'm from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I play defensive back. I was recently at East Carolina University, and now I'm in the transfer portal looking for a new home.
Well, Antoine, man, first and foremost, thank you for taking the time to jump on here. I know Canes fans are going to be excited to hear from you, man. I know they are. I always like to start off with what's your current height and weight right now?
Right now, I'm 6'1.25", 182.
Okay. And do you have a comfortable playing weight?
Yeah, like 180, 175-ish.
Okay. Have you had your wingspan measured?
Yeah, but I don't remember it.
It's all good. And I know it happens at the camp sometimes. That stuff gets
Yeah.
it can get lost with all the numbers that you get thrown at you, So, man, you started off there at ECU. You've entered the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
Are you already getting hit up by colleges and stuff saying, hey, man, we want you here at our college. We want you to come visit?
Yeah, I got like 20 plus schools hit me up trying to pushing hard for me to visit within this last week.
Yeah.
I've been considering taking visits. I haven't set any visits as of just yet.
Okay.
But I've been considering visits and stuff, and I'm just trying to see what would be the best fit for me.
Are you building relationships with maybe some of the newer teams that might not have been involved with your recruitment, but more involved with your transfer portal aspect of it? Are you starting to build relationships with them?
Yeah, I'm definitely starting to build relationships, burning no bridges, just making sure I'm open to everything, and just making sure I'm making the right decision.
When it comes time to make this ultimate decision for you in the portal, what are the main factors for you? What are you really looking for at the next college you end up at?
I'm looking for where I can go and get developed, where I can play. That's pretty much. I feel like I can play anywhere. Just making sure I go into a defense and a system that fits me. I've been watching a lot of film on a lot of teams from last year based off the defenses they've been running. So it's pretty interesting.
Tell me a little bit about your time at ECU. What are some of the lessons you learned while you were there about college football?
I can say one thing I learned is like just keeping up with the pace of the game. Like based off practicing and stuff, practicing was a lot more intense. Just making sure I'm on my horses every day in practice and giving it my all in practice. Leading over to the game, just making sure like I'm locked in every play and just the speed of the game and the pace of the game and just learning more of football.
Do you feel that 1 year at ECU is going to be kind of a big boost for you going into the portal, getting that experience under your belt, getting a little bit of that college feeling?
Yeah, definitely. Because next year gonna be the best football I ever played. Like next year is gonna be crazy. Like I learned the game of football so much more. Just that by itself improved my game and took my game to the next level. And now just understanding how the college football work and how quarterbacks think and how defensive coordinators is with the players. Like next year gonna be crazy. I can't wait.
Do you kind of have a time frame in your mind of when you would like to have your college picked, or at least have maybe your top 3 colleges selected by possibly?
I'm definitely trying to have my colleges. I'm definitely trying to be committed by the 7th, January 7th.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Okay.
it's a pretty quick turnaround. Like I'm trying to get up out of here now. Like I don't want to get in the portal and be in the portal forever. I'm trying to find a great spot now.
I understand. I totally understand. If you can thank your coaches at ECU for what they did for you at that year there, what would you thank them for?
Definitely taking me in, developing me, believing in me as a freshman to get on the field and make a big impact, trusting me to go out there and play, just being on me every day, making sure I'm going 100% in practice, and just basically just trusting and believing in me and taking the time to coach me every day.
What kind of coaches do you enjoy playing for? Do you like the high energy coaches who are really vocal and hype up, or do you like the guys who kind of walk the walk, lead a little bit more by example, or do you like a little mix of both?
I definitely like coaches who hype, who gonna bring the energy, feed off the coaches. It just turned me up. It just
Yeah.
made me turn.
Now that you've had a chance, to get a year of college football under your belt, kind of curious hearing this from a guy who is in the portal now, but how do you feel the portal and the NIL have changed the game?
I feel like a couple people just hop in the portal for NIL and like just choose schools for NIL and stuff. Which I mean, players got to do what's best for them.
Yeah.
I don't think it changed the game in a negative way because at the end of the day, like we got to get our money in life,
Yes,
and
sir.
some players they just want more money and they feel like they're worth more. So I don't blame them.
What do you feel your biggest strengths are on the field right now? When it's time for you to, to pick that college, what are they going to be getting right away from you?
A person who can go take away the number one receiver. Like the whole game, I can just go follow the number one receiver. You can put me in man coverage the whole game. You can put me in zone coverage the whole game. You can put me in both. You can put me in the nickel. You can put me at safety. You can play me at D tackle. No, I'm joking. But you can just move me anywhere around in the secondary. Like you can game plan with me basically any spot in the secondary depending on the team we playing. Like you can be another guy in corner that we need to play corner that game because of his strength. And then I can go back and play safety over top, or I can go play in the nickel and cover the number one receiver in the slot. Just feel like it's a lot of things that I can do. Like I'm very versatile. And then my ball skills, just being able to turn the ball over. Like when the ball in the air, like I honestly think sometimes I think I'll be a receiver. Like all the time, well not sometimes, all the time I just think basically I'm just at receiver just going to get the ball. When that ball in the air, it's a 50-50 shot. So
And man, and you got good hands and you got the timing down too for your
oh yeah.
jumps. So, dude, I mean, that makes it even easier.
Yeah.
So, I know you got a lot going on with the portal and choosing a new school and stuff, but outside of that, what are you wanting to work on this offseason in terms of technique to kind of take your game to a higher level?
Honestly, just being like getting my steps 100% down at the line of scrimmage. Like no, I don't want to make no false movements anymore. Like just coming out my breaks, backpedaling and opening up, just everything. Just making no false movements, understanding the game of football more, learning what quarterbacks thinking in certain coverages, learning the way wide receivers and how they run receivers run their routes and things like that. Like I'm more focused on just learning the game of football. Of course, I'm a train and stuff like that comes with it, but I'm focused on just learning the game of football.
Gotcha. I gotcha. So, in your mind, and with the players you've looked up to and seen, at the pro level or elite college level, what traits do you feel make an elite cornerback mentally and physically? What are those traits that they need to have to be kind of on that level?
Mentally, you gotta have that confidence. Like
Yeah.
you can beat me 20 times, but like you gotta come back and do it again.
Yep.
And you gotta be mentally prepared for anything because at corner, anything can happen, any play. Physically, I just feel like you gotta be able to turn the ball over. Simple as that. Just turn the ball over.
Kind of curious here, man, but Antoine, what gets you most excited on game day? It can be before the game, getting in the zone. It can be something that happens during the game, but what gets you really pumped up on game day?
Knowing what I'm doing it for.
Yeah,
Knowing the why behind the reason I'm playing the game. Just loving the game, doing it for my family, and just knowing what my ultimate goal is.
the day before a game, What do you like to do? Especially when you have your chance to have your free time. What do you like to do to kind of like stay in the zone, stay in the mode, or do you like to kind of distract yourself a little bit to get away from it for a sec?
No, I'm definitely just getting heavy recovery and just watching film. Like I feel like you never can watch too much film.
True.
Like I just watch film, 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 film. Like the film never lie, and it never failed me. Like every time I watch film, when I see it and recognize it happens. So I just watch a lot of film the day before the game and just keep catching up on film.
Who are some of your favorite players, or maybe who is your favorite player? It could be, NCAA, NFL, guys you like to look up to steal a little bit of the game to add to yours.
It'll definitely be Pat Surtain, man-to-man coverage. I love him. I
Yeah.
love Trevon Diggs. I
Yeah.
love his zone coverage. And I just love Jalen Ramsey physicality.
Man, that's one hell of a trio right there to look up to, man. I mean, that pretty much covers all of it right there, pretty much everything a CB would need, pretty much. So, Antoine, man, if you had to describe your game to somebody who's never seen your film, never seen you play it down live, how would you describe your game to them?
Oh, if you watch me, I'm just a very confident corner. I'm just very confident out there. Like I just feel like no one can beat me. No one ever will beat me. And I'm just a guy who can just go take away the number one receiver. Like I said earlier, like I got the physical traits, which I feel like I need to improve on a lot. But I got the physical traits. Like I'm gonna come down and hit a running back. I'm gonna come down and hit a tight end. I'm gonna get off blocks, make tackles. I'm gonna keep the outside containment. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, but I'm also gonna do more than what I need to do to help the team win.
So I kind of want to get into it, and of course, me being a Miami fan, but how's the relationship been with you and the Miami staff? Have you guys been able to get in touch since you got in the portal?
The relationship with the Miami staff been great. I burnt no bridges. Obviously, a lot of people know what happened in the past, but
Yeah.
there was no bridges burnt. I was talking to him like a man and just keeping him updated on everything, not letting him find out things through social media. Um, but the relationship's been great, and the relationship still is great, and that's about it.
What is it that you like about the University of Miami so much? Is it the coaching staff that's in place there? Is it the history? Is it just the swag? What do you love about the University of Miami?
It go way back. So the first college person I ever knew growing up was Duke Johnson. That was the
Oh, okay.
first player I ever knew, not just college but football player in general. So I started going to his games a lot and just like I looked up to him. I watch his highlight reels to this day. Still, I watch him a lot. And Miami, even University of Miami was the first college I knew, and it's just like my dream school. And just seeing what them guys is doing, knowing what they did in the past, like in the 2000, 2001 era, just seeing how Coach Cristobal is trying to bring it back. He will bring it back, I believe. But just seeing what they're doing, what they're building over there, it's just like, who wouldn't want to be there? And it's in the city of Miami.
I hear it. I was actually just going to ask you what you kind of thought about Cristobal, but you kind of answered it right there. You kind of you hold Cristobal pretty high
Yeah,
esteem as a head coach. Yeah.
yeah. I like what he was even doing at Oregon, changing the program and just winning over there, just making Oregon look good.
Have you had a chance to kind of observe some of the way we ran our secondary at Miami this season?
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching. I've been watching the games and stuff. I'm still a big Miami fan, no matter what college I'm at. I always want to see Miami succeed. But yeah, I seen Damari get a big hit on Bethune Cookman. I seen all the ints that Cam Kitchens had, and I love the way they was using James Williams
Yeah.
and CNDP locked down on the outside. It was. I love the way they're using the secondary.
You feel like Coach Aai has got that secondary moving in the right direction?
Yeah, he got him rolling for sure. I definitely believe.
And do you have a any kind of relationship with Coach Aai?
We have a great me and Coach and I have a great relationship. It was no bridges burnt. He's a great man outside of football. He's a
Yeah.
great, like just a great male figure who you should want to be around at all times. He's just a great person who keeps it real.
A little while back, Mario Cristobal said that he wants younger players to come to Miami, earn snaps, and get on the field and prove that they belong there. Is that important to you in factoring, when it's time for you to pick a college, that you get a chance to actually come in and truly earn your spot? And if you beat out the guy ahead of you, you're going to get on the field and get those snaps.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely plays a part of my recruitment because once I get the shot, is no looking back. Like I'm very confident in myself, and once I get that fair shot, and once I get my opportunity, like it's over. Like it's just no looking back.
I got 3 words for you, and I want to know what they mean to you. Miami Hurricanes football. What do those 3 words mean to Antione Jackson?
That's just like hearing a dream come true to me. Like regardless of what happened in the past, like I know what I did in the past going to ECU, which I don't 100% regret. But hearing those 3 words is just like a dream to me. Like that's the first college I know. Like every time someone talk about Miami around me, like I look or like I just be nosy and ear hustling and stuff. But it's a great feeling to just hear those 3 words.
I'll tell you what, man, from me and the fans I know, we ain't got nothing but love for you, bro. Still, we ain't got nothing but love for you. So don't even worry about that. Miami fans definitely got your back. No problem there.
Definitely.
Well, at this point in the interview, what I like to do is I like to give recruits a chance to kind of show some love to people who've helped them out along the way, trainers, coaches, parents, anybody you'd like to show some love to, feel free to give them a shout out.
Of course, big shout out to my mom and my family for sticking with me no matter what decision I make or no matter like I can stop playing football today and I know she still got my back.
Yeah.
So definitely shout out to her and shout out to Coach Strong, Hard but Fair Athletes. His Twitter's HBF Athletes.
Yeah.
He's been helping me with my recruitment and leading me the way.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Do you got any trainers that you want to call out?
He's my trainer too.
Oh, he's your trainer too. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was doing just recruiting or training or both. I didn't know. Okay. Man, he's handling all that for you. That's great. That's awesome to have that in house, with one guy who can kind of take care of both sides of that for you. That's fantastic, man. I always enjoy talking with him. Me and him, of course, me and him had a chance to chop up earlier today on Twitter and stuff, man. I always enjoy talking with him. He's always so excited about you guys and all the other players that he represents, man. He's always so excited.
Yeah.
I love that energy, man.
Yeah.
Does he kind of give is it a family kind of vibe?
Yeah, definitely. He's like a mentor. Like he's like the coach that always been around.
That's great, man. I love to hear that you have that in your life. That's fantastic. So what's next for you in regards to football? Just is it just training or anything in specific, or is it just picking your college?
Just right now it's just training, just making sure I'm going to college at my best, and just making sure I'm mentally staying strong through this process because it's like basically coming out of high school again with the recruitment, and it can get like overwhelming sometimes. But just making sure like I'm like this next move is my best move, and I'm trying to go somewhere for 2 years, and I want to be going to the NFL. So just making sure this move is the best move that I make, that I ever made in my life.
That was actually a question I wanted to ask you. Coming from the portal, does it remind you of recruiting, or is there some differences that really stand out?
Honestly, I feel like I'm getting recruited harder than I was in high school. Not as much as schools hit me up, but like schools is pushing harder than it was coming out of high school, knowing I got the experience and I still have 3 years eligible.
Yeah.
So it can get pretty overwhelming sometimes, especially when me hopping in the portal kind of late. So I had like a week turnaround. Like I had like 2 weeks to like turn around and do everything. Still trying to figure out the visits I'm going to take and things like that.
Go ahead and plug your social media accounts. Where can people find you online?
You can find me on IG at Antione Jackson 1_. And you can find me on Twitter at action_Jackson.
All right. Well, Antoine, I just got one last question for you, man. It's a question I ask everybody that comes on the show. It's always the last question. Why do you love the game of football? What makes you want to go out there and compete at the highest level on a weekly basis?
The first thing is just loving football. Like, I just love football. Like, I can't live without football right now. Like, I just love the game. I just love flying around. Like I just love football. Like I'm gonna leave my all out there every day. And then knowing that I'm doing it for my family. Of course, I'm doing it for me because of the love, but I'm doing it for my family and knowing my ultimate goal, which is getting to the NFL.
Love that answer, man. Love that answer, man. Well, Antoine, I know it's getting a little late over there and on the East Coast. I want to let you get on with your night here, but man, I greatly, greatly appreciate you taking the time to jump on here. Let Canes fans get a little more familiar with your portal situation and kind of what you're looking for and kind of where your mindset's at with it, you know? I really appreciate it a lot, man.
No problem. Thank you.
And, you know, while these next couple days go by, man, just praying for you, praying for your best decisions, praying for your best health, praying for all that stuff for you, man. Just praying everything goes straight for you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have yourself a great night. We'll stay in touch. And before you leave, what I want to definitely say is, bro, it's all about the you. I just gotta say that. You have yourself a great night, man, and we'll talk soon, all right?
You too. Thank you.
All right, guys, that was one of the premier cornerbacks in the portal, in my opinion, Antione Jackson. I mean, this is a guy who I have been high on since high school. Guys who have, you know, followed my interviews and stuff like that, followed my, you know, recruiting background, know that this is a player that, I mean, I've always felt such a huge impact that he could make for any college team that he ends up on, just due to his natural upside and his mindset. I mean, he loves the game of football. He loves it. He works his tail off, man. I mean, from skill to talent to the mentality to the God-given physical nature, he's got it all right there, guys. He truly does. And I was really, really glad to get him on here for an interview. And as you can see, he's definitely got a lot of love for the University of Miami. We'll catch you guys soon for another RNG interview. Hope you guys have a great night. Happy holidays and have a great New Year's.